Welcome back to the Williams, Elleby, Howard, and Easter YouTube channel. This is my friend Amy Cullen. She is not a lawyer, and we are going to intertwine two very different disciplines today, but our approach to serving our clients and our friends are very much the same and the general mindset. So today we are talking about personal injury law and interior design. What do those two things have in common? A lot more than you might think. So Amy is here from AC Interiors. She's helping me with my office after many years of myself trying to figure out how to make my office comfy, cozy, make it mine, and not some cookie cutter boxed in place that I walk into every day and I'm never fully comfortable. But I got to thinking about, all right, well, like what's similar between Amy's business and our business and how we approach our clients. And I think it really boils down to individual attention and meeting people where they're at. And that really differentiates, a firm like ours or a business like Amy's from some of the larger groups. So Amy, you want to introduce yourself and tell us what you do, and we'll just kind of jump into it from there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thanks for having me. I'm really excited to be here. My name's Amy Cullen, and my business is AC Interiors, as Joel mentioned. I do primarily residential design in the Kennesaw, Northwest Atlanta area, and I've been doing my business now for about 8 years and absolutely love it. I'm very passionate about interior design and also really passionate about people. And bringing those two passions together has really made my business flourish and something that I really enjoy doing.
Yeah. And by the way, if you want to check out some of her past work, it's on Instagram. It's Amy Cullen Interiors. You can go and see what she does. But what I love about it, and if you look through her Instagram, I don't know, is it a page? It's a whatever. Go look at her Instagram.
My tiles.
That's exactly right. You will see a variety of different designs and a variety of different thought processes, because when she goes to see me versus when she goes to see, Chase or Mark or Jared in our firm and tries to fit their needs, we all have different tastes, right? And taking, you mentioned something to me this morning about listening. And taking in what your client really needs and understanding that need and that want, you're going to see a wide variety of different things there. So I think that really stems from trying to meet the client where they're at, right?
Yes, absolutely. And that's something I really pride myself on. And I think it's something that sets me apart in the design community. I have a very unique approach, and one of the most important things that I do when I first meet with my client is we do a consultation. We always do it in the space that we're discussing, and one of the biggest things that I need to do is listen and ask lots of questions with my client and understand their personality, what's important to them, and what makes them happy, and also what they want to see in the space. So it's important to see their vision. If they're not sure, then I can help kind of fill in those gaps as we go. But having that conversation and really listening to their needs and their wants and what's important to them is something that really sets me off on the right foot in getting the design right.
Yep. And I love that, because that is exactly what we do at Williams, Elleby, Howard, and Easter, is every client has a different need. So we were talking earlier, and by the way, I just asked Amy to do this about 2 hours ago. I said, no, this is scripted, right? So I appreciate you being flexible.
Absolutely.
But one thing that we really have to do is we have to understand that I could take person A and person B, and they could both be in a car wreck, and they could have the exact same injuries, but the way that those injuries affect their lives are going to be vastly different, because one person may be a professional athlete. The other person may have a desk job and work their brain a lot harder than they work their body. One person C may be in construction. So a brain injury is going to affect all three of those people differently. A broken leg is going to affect all three of those people differently. And their family circumstances may be different. Maybe they're more actively involved at home, like they're mowing the grass. Maybe person A mows the grass. Maybe person B hires somebody to mow the grass. Maybe person C does all kinds of construction projects at home, but the point is that their individual circumstances are different. And one thing that frustrates me to no end is when we get calls from people that have hired the big box law firms or whatever, and they've never met their lawyer. And I just am astounded by that, because how in the world is that lawyer going to relay the story of that client to an insurance company, to a judge, to a jury, so that they can empathize with what they've been through? If you don't know the person, if you haven't stepped into their shoes to understand the circumstances that they're in and how this particular injury has affected their life. And so immediately from day one, just like you're doing, being here with me today, but in what we did before we got on camera, walking through the space, helping me understand like what's possible in that space within the realm of what I'm asking you to help you with, right? It's so important, that personal touch, because we're in the service industry. And when I see, even worse, when I see sometimes firms that are outsourcing work to $2 an hour people in other companies, just like sweatshops building clothes. I want to scream at the top of my lungs and be like, what are you doing? Like, people, you're dealing with people's lives, you're dealing with their livelihoods, you're dealing with their bodies and their healing journey, and it requires empathy and personal touch. So I just thought, it struck me that the way to successfully approach our clients' various needs, even though you're working more with aesthetics, and I'm working more with financial healing after something has happened to somebody, that personal attention matters.
It does. And that's a very good point when you bring up the outsourcing issue. That's something that happens in my industry as well. And I work with people that I trust, contractors, plumbers, electricians, painters, you name it. I have a lot of different industry experts, and I've curated my team around people that work directly with my clients, that do the work themselves, or they have a team of people and I know their names, I know who they are, I have a relationship with them, I know the tile guy, he's there every single time. And outsourcing is something that I actually had to learn about and work through when I was first starting my business, because I worked with contractors that would outsource their work to subs, and I didn't know who was doing the work. It wasn't guaranteed to be high quality and good every single time. And that was a growing pain that I had to work through. And now I know I have to work with people that do the work on their own. I just had that happen with a project recently, with a wallpaper project, and I found somebody new. And
people still use wallpaper?
Yes, a lot of people.
Even where they're at, I guess.
It's back. And she does all the work herself, and she's been doing it for 30 or 40 years, and that's the only person that I will use. So it definitely relates to my business too.
And like everything, as you talk about the process that you work through with your clients and how you help them, I just relate it back to my world. Like I hear when you say I'm dealing with, the tile person, the painter, the concrete person, the wallpaper person, whatever. I think about it on our end as we deal with contractors in a different sense, but maybe they're medical providers, and we know which doctors around here are going to treat somebody for their injuries and not for their case, because there are some doctors that would just treat for the case. We know which experts, whether it's a biomechanical, an accident recon guy, a life safety code expert, whatever. We've worked through that, and like you said, like there's growing pains with that you learn with experience, like who's good, who's going to serve your client well, and who's not. And that's super important to, I think, both of us, because if your painter comes to my house and does a crappy job, that reflects poorly on you.
Yeah, exactly.
If I say, hey, Amy, I know you're in this wreck and your back hurts. You should go see Dr. Johnny over here. If Dr. Johnny does a bad job and I've recommended Dr. Johnny, that's going to reflect poorly on me, even if I'm not the person doing the bad work, right?
Yeah.
So that's super important. It comes with experience and, being able to find the people in the area where your client actually lives that can serve them well.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's just being trustworthy, and your clients will know that you're trustworthy because you're working with people that are also trustworthy. Yeah. And that's something that's really important to me in my business. I'm in people's homes, and that's their personal space.
Yep.
And the fact that they've trusted me to be in that personal space and to share their lives with me, I see that as an honor and something that I have a certain bargain I have to uphold on my end, mm-hmm. to bring in trusted people into their homes.
That's right. And they're relying on you for your expertise, mm-hmm. in that area, because if they had the talent of interior design and they had the vision, they probably wouldn't have called you. Mm-hmm. So they're calling you to fill that need in their life that they don't have. So, but yeah, I mean, it really just struck me this morning that the client-centered approach and meeting people where they're at, like, even though our worlds and the specific thing that we're doing for somebody is very different, there's so many similarities. And I was mm-hmm. like, I'm going to see if Amy would come talk to us about it. But I do appreciate you coming in and spending some time with us today. Amy, I don't make recommendations nilly-willy, but she has helped my wife and I at our home with some things that we needed help with. She's now in our office helping me with my specific office. So if you want to check her out, AC Interiors, you can check her business out. She's in the Northwest Atlanta area. She does a wonderful job. And if you need somebody that's going to really listen to you, to focus on your needs, your interior design needs, and meet you where you're at, Amy's the person that you should give a call. But anyway, thanks for being here.
Great.
We hope this video has been helpful to you. If so, give us a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Otherwise, I'll bring one of the law guys in here next week, and I will nerd out on some more legal topics. But anyway, thanks for being here, Amy.
Thank you for having me, Joel. It's been fun.
As personal injury lawyers, we love what we do, and we're happy to share the experience we've gained in personal injury law. To help our family, friends, and YouTube subscribers, we've shared over 300 personal injury videos covering various injury topics. So if you'd like to gain more knowledge that may help protect yourself or a loved one when you're on the roads or out in public, check out our channel or view our playlist of shorts for quick personal injury tips.